Hey there, it's Clumpkin. I hope you're all having a great, brand new day so far. Today's video, I want to do something a little more fun, and just something I wanted to do, and that is review Spider-Man Brand New Day. Kind of give my thoughts on it. I've seen this movie twice. Kind of want to see it a third time. I wouldn't be upset if I saw it a third time. And there's much to say. And I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero of all time. He's so goated, and I love Spider-Man. So I want to give my thoughts. Um, this movie is phenomenal. It's easily my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. It solidifies Tom Holland is probably my favorite Spider-Man. That might be controversial to a lot of people because I know people hold Toby and some even Andrew to a very high standard. But I've never been a Tom hater, and this only solidifies him as a really good Spider-Man. He is amazing in this movie, and his performance is great, and everything about this movie is incredible. Um, and before I go too deep into it, I do want to give obviously a spoiler warning. I'm not going to withhold really anything because I want to really talk about this movie. Um, so this is your chance if you haven't seen it yet. Spoiler warning. Let's get right into it. So, from what I picked up from my two watches, the obvious main theme of Spider-Man: Brand New Day is isolation, and how you should not isolate yourself from other people, and that you don't have to go through things alone. And this is shown through how isolation and Peter refusing to tell Ned and MJ uh, the truth about what has happened is taking a physical, not only a mental, but a physical toll to Peter, and is resulting in his arachnid hormones spiking from a spider bite. And it's changing him in ways that he's scared of and does not understand. And he, tries to suppress them as much as he can by, trying to get advice from Bruce Banner and build a superpower inhibitor that suppresses specific DNA, mRNA, and RNA strands, which Spider-Man creates the power dampeners that are used against the X-Men, probably because this movie is a soft launch for the MCU's X-Men. Again, this is your last warning. The reason this movie is a soft launch for the MCU's X-Men is because the main villain, I say that in quotes, is Jean Grey. Also, I think her name is Marvel Girl. Most people know her as Phoenix, but she's not the Phoenix here. She's, I guess, Marvel. She's not even Marvel Girl yet. And the reason I say she's the villain in quotation marks is because she does do a lot of bad shit. But the real villain in this movie is Damage Control. Damage Control is the one that lies to Peter. They're the ones that kill Jean Grey's sister. They're the ones that kind of like instigate this whole plot. And they are the ones. They're the big bads. They're the one pulling the strings behind the scenes here. And Peter and Jean Grey eventually team up. No, well, Peter and Jean Grey eventually come to an understanding, and Peter helps save New York again. I kind of want to go back to the theming of the movie with isolation. Well, before I do that, I just want to say this movie is incredibly, like, it has an amazing soundtrack. It has amazing messaging. It has amazing cinematography, choreography. Fucking, it has amazing. It's got good dialogue. I like it personally. I think it's got a lot of funny moments. And It's relatable, and it's heartwarming, and it's heartbreaking, and it's literally everything I've ever wanted from a Spider-Man movie. It it's just such a good watch, and I could watch it 20 more times and not get tired of it. Everything in this movie is amazing. I got off track a little bit. Uh, the theme of isolation. Um, Peter is isolating himself. He is throwing himself completely into his work of Spider-Man, and Peter Parker is hardly anybody, right? Even when he's not in costume, he's still Spider-Man. And they show this when he's like talking to the police captain, DeWolf, where he may look like Peter Parker, but he's still talking and doing Spider-Man things. He's never just Peter for most of this movie. And when he is Peter, he's fucking depressed. Um and in one scene of the movie where he stalks Ned and is at this little house party at Ned and MJ's apartment, and he finds out that MJ has a new boyfriend, I would even dare say that Peter is borderline suicidal in that moment. Um, it's rough for him, and he just isolates himself even further. He has some people. He has DeWolf. He has the Punisher, which is not a great person to have at your lowest moment. But it's something for him, right? But he's just completely Spider-Man, and it's ruining him. It's his body is just beaten and bruised. As I said before, his arachnid hormone levels are changing. His eyes go pitch black, and he like turns into a raging spider monster. Not man spider though. He just kind of gets out of control of his uh, feelings. And to kind of jump around a little bit, there's this beautiful moment in this cool moment at the end of the movie where Jean Grey has with everyone within like a 2 mile radius frozen in time. Um, Peter's like beaten and bloody, and he's stabbed, and he's like he's messed up. And Jean Grey asks him telepathically, "Are you Spider-Man or are you Peter Parker?" And with Spider-Man's eyes pitch black, he goes, "I'm both." And then he embraces his organic webbing, which he has now because of his increased spider hormones. And he just mollywops the hand that's being controlled by Jean Grey. And it's a really cool moment. I guess jumping back again with the isolation, I just kind of remembered what I did want to say. Is Jean Grey is, I would say, a foil to Spider-Man in this movie. Not a crazy take, right? It's definitely on purpose. Probably the point, actually, with isolation. And they actually dive into that when Jean Grey infiltrates Spider-Man's mind. And there's a memory of Aunt May kind of comforting Peter when he's like still newly Spider-Man in his Stark suit. Um, and they're both isolated. They're both in terrible points in their life right now. Jean Grey lost her sister and she's completely alone, and she's a mutant, which is even more isolating because people, maybe not yet in the MCU, but people fucking hate mutants. And Spider-Man has lost everybody that he loves. He's lost Aunt May. He's lost he's lost Ned and MJ. He doesn't have a lot right now. And he and Jean Grey kind of connect in that moment as two lost individuals who are incredibly lonely. And then the Punisher decides to fucking 360 no-scope Spider-Man, and he tanks the bullet like a champ, and he's bleeding out. And for a second, you're thinking, oh fuck, Spider-Man's dead. but Jean Grey uses her voodoo magic shit, as Punisher calls it, and breathes for Spider-Man to keep him alive. And Jean Grey kind of ditches town after that, and is we just have to see where that goes. Probably we're gonna see her in the X-Men movie whenever that comes out. And that's Spider-Man. Well, and then Peter's like out of the hospital. This is really the closest I got to crying in this movie was the moment where Peter's in the hospital on the brink of death, and all of New York hears that Spider-Man is in critical condition in the hospital, and they show up for him at the hospital, outside of the hospital. Everyone making signs and dressed up as Spider-Man and cheering him on. Buildings are lit up in red and blue to represent Spider-Man. And it's this like beautiful moment. It's the closest I got to crying in this movie because everyone is there for Spider-Man. They all love Spider-Man. We love Spider-Man. And it's just a really cool moment. And I really like it. It's probably one of my favorite scenes. Probably above the scene where Peter is swinging and really depressed after finding out MJ has a boyfriend. And then that's also behind the I don't love you scene. That one was heartbreaking. But eventually Peter wakes up from his coma after being shot, and he and the Punisher share a sweet moment, and the Punisher cries and Peter's laughing about it. And Peter leaves the hospital, but as Peter Parker, because he and the Punisher have a plan for him to get out of the hospital without anyone noticing. So as Peter's leaving the hospital room, someone goes, "Look, it's Spider-Man," and he tenses up and gets all nervous. But everyone looks to the right, and you can see the Punisher is wearing Spider-Man's costume, pretending to be him. So Spider-Man can kind of sneak away from the crowd. But before he does, there's this little kid that makes eye contact with Peter, and he makes a little thwip at him. And Spider-Man thwips back, and it's a sweet little moment that I really appreciated in that movie. And after that, he's somewhat recovered. He's telling DeWolf that, yeah, I could get back into the business. But she's like, nah, take a break. So Peter goes back to this bodega that's been pretty reoccurring in the movie. It's the one where he buys flowers from his grave every day. And he sees Ned there. And, he decides to say hi because, they met at the party and, he's not like completely unfamiliar. And Ned goes, "Oh, flower guy." And he decides to dap up Ned. And, they dap up. It's a nice little moment. But then Peter kind of lingers with it for a second. And he decides to go for their handshake. And Ned's just following the movements. And it's working. And then after they finish it, he goes, "Peter?" And a lot of people have taken this scene a bunch of different ways. I personally took it as he's recognizing Peter as Spider-Man when MJ said Peter's name earlier in the movie. And that's what I think it is. I don't think the handshake brought back his memories. As like neat as that would be, I don't think that's what happened. But it would be cool, right? I think it's funny that like the kiss doesn't bring back memories, but a handshake does. I think it's just Ned connecting two dots. But it was a beautiful scene, really cool. And then right after that is probably one of the best credit scenes I've ever seen in any movie, with Steve Lacy's song "Oh Yeah" playing with these beautifully shot short little videos of New York and the people in it. And it's just perfect. It's amazing and it's beautiful. And it just made me so happy to see. And I love Spider-Man so much. This movie is great. Spider-Man's a character I look up to so much, right? Like I don't have many real life inspirations. Most of my inspirations from superheroes like Superman and Spider-Man. And this movie is amazing, and it keeps Peter relatable, and it keeps him miserable, which, Spider-Man is kind of known for being. And, he's got that Parker look, and it's just a great Spider-Man movie. And to me personally, it's the best one. I want to go over my letterbox review that I wrote for this movie. I logged two of them or I logged one for every watch, so I have two. Let me pull it up right now. My first one, which was like the more serious one, I said, and I quote, "This movie is everything I wanted it to be and more. There's some stuff that I personally wish were in the movie, some resolutions I thought that were missing, but in truth, I wouldn't change a thing. This is my new favorite Spider-Man film. This is Spider-Man to me. The swinging, the choreography, the quips, the attitude. I love it all. TLDR, I like the movie a lot, but I wanted more time with the main three, that being Ned, Peter, and MJ, and how the loss of memories impact their relationship now." That was my review. And then my second one, I said, "I cried for the entire thing. It made me want to be a better man." That wasn't serious. That was just a quote from another movie. That was funny. It was a guy talking about Paddington 2. But with that, that is my Spider-Man Brand New Day review, talk, analysis, whatever you want to call it. I love this movie. And I probably will see it a third time. It's so good. And I can't get enough of it. And I'm really in a Spider-Man phase right now. Not even a phase. I'm always in the mood for Spider-Man content. Um, but dude, this movie's so good. If you haven't watched it, I'm not sure why you're watching this video right now because I just gave you some crazy spoilers. But go watch it, and then maybe watch it again, and then buy the popcorn bucket and give yourself some spider head. Like it. This movie, I like it. I like it. And it's inspirational. And it's a nice reminder that you never have to truly be alone. So with that, I'm going to end the video and say thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to tell somebody you love them. Have a great, great rest of your brand new day. Okay, I'll stop. Okay. All right. No, but seriously, thank you guys so much. I'll catch you all later. See you.